I want to be the very best Is It Kino host, folks. Welcome back to your favorite movie review podcast. I am, of course, your hostess with the mostest one, Mr. Monkey Johnson, joined as always by co-host number one, Mr. Florian Himsel.
Oh my god, the Pokemon movie. Why am I even reviewing a Pokemon movie? Hello everyone. How is the Kino?
Well, folks, here's how the Kino is. Here's the state of the Kino. As you all know, tragically, Erich left us in the previous episode after Avengers Endgame. So now this is the first official episode of the America's Next Top Erich contest, where we will have a brand new co-host each and every episode to try to replace Erich. And this week we are joined by a very special contestant, one Erich McCoy.
Erich.
What is the Pokemon Erich? Where did you find this such a rare Pokemon?
Well, when you went to your showing for the movie, they didn't hand out free Pokemon like they did. I got an Erich Pokemon when I went. Maybe it's an AMC 17 exclusive.
Well, I guess they did. It just ran away as soon as it saw me. I don't know.
Erich, welcome back, Mr. Pokemon Man.
Yeah, I'm a cuck type Pokemon.
Wow, what are your weaknesses and what are you strong against? I'm guessing you're weak to dark types. And fighting types, probably.
Yeah. I'm a fairy. I'm a fairy type Pokemon.
Well, there you go.
Amazing.
Hey, folks, we're here to talk about the brand new film, Detective Kino. That's right, folks. I'm putting it out there right at the beginning. It's pure Kino, folks. But Erich, what did you think of Detective Pikachu?
All right. So I have been waiting for a Pokemon movie my entire goddamn life.
Me too, baby. Me too. And how old are you? Like 25?
Oh my god.
I'm 26. So I think when I was like probably 6 or 7, I saw Pokemon playing on TV, and it was the episode where Charmeleon evolved into Charizard.
Hell yeah.
And I had no goddamn idea what I was watching. I just knew it was the coolest goddamn thing ever. So I ran to my parents and was trying to explain to them that Charmeleon turned into a Charizyle. I didn't know his name was Charizard, so I was calling it Charizyle. And yeah, that was how I fell in love with Pokemon. And so I watched a lot of the show, and I collected the cards. I had all 151 original Pokemon cards.
Bullshit. Where'd you get a Mew at? You're full of shit.
I got the fucking exclusive Mew that they gave you when you went to see the movie.
See, that's bullshit, because I'm like 5 years younger than you, so I never got that opportunity.
Oh no, how did kids do it in your age?
It's fucking
Jesus.
bullshit. Florian, how old are you? Like 80?
I'm 30, and I can't believe I have to listen to you two fucking kids talking about your favorite Pokemon. Oh my god.
What's your history with Pokemon? We got Erich's. Did you fall in love as a young boy watching Charmeleon evolve into Charizard?
I certainly did not, but I...
What?
What the fuck?
Well, I used to like the movies at least. I never got into the games, and people did the trading cards. Oh my god, I never got into those.
Well, that's weird that you say that, because I thought it was so clear that The Binding of Isaac was inspired by Pokemon. It has the same play style. It has the same looking creatures. I thought you just ripped off Pokemon.
Maybe you should actually play it one day. I have no idea. Jesus.
Damn.
You're saying they're not similar?
I guess there's that Pokemon mod where you throw Pokemon as attacks. I guess that's
maybe
similar.
that's what I was playing.
Warren's throwing up so much fire you'd think he is a Charmeleon.
Yep.
Oh my god.
It's like you don't like Pokemon then?
I used to like it until this movie.
What?
Wow! Holy shit!
The fuck?
Yeah, I don't know. Somehow it's just ruining it for me. Maybe I just wouldn't have liked any Pokemon movie at this point, but damn, I don't know what the fuck I was even watching.
Oh
the
my
time
God.
when that fucking Licklake came out and slapped its fat, disgusting, photorealistic tongue into his face. I knew I was gonna have a bad time, but Jesus
it's a world
Christ.
of whimsy and adventure where you're best friends with magical creatures that have great abilities. What kind of cold-hearted man do you have to be to see that Lickitung on the train with the guy and be like, "Ah, man, if I lived there, I'd be so upset."
So come on, it's such a stupid, lame joke. It's just like
it's not even a joke. It's just the world of the film.
But no one's paying attention to it. Come on, man. If there's a wild dog licking people on the train, people would react to that too.
You've clearly never been to New York City.
Oh my God. Well, isn't this some kind of utopia city where everyone should be really empathetic?
Rich, what were you going on about?
So Florian might be surprised when, even though I'm a Pokemon fan and I love Pokemon in every way, shape, and form, I wasn't a huge fan of this movie. Like, I liked it. I liked it a lot. I think for me, it just kind of fell apart by the end of it.
Well, I think we should get into this then, because we have me who really loved it as a Pokemon fan. You as a Pokemon fan, you're a bit lukewarm, and Florian, who hates Pokemon, hates it now even more because of the film. We've got, we were gonna get Asterios on this one for a 3-peat, get him on 3 times in a row, but I think we have every possible perspective. Other than extreme boomer, we just have medium boomer with Florian.
Yeah, he would have been completely clueless about the Pokemons, even worse than me. Damn, I guess we're lucky. We don't have to put up with that. I don't know. At this point, I think it's just Ryan Reynolds who I can't stand. It's like the entire time in the movie, he's just having some stupid stand-up routine the entire time, and nothing's being taken seriously. It's basically just the Deadpool syndrome.
It's a little bit of Deadpool for kids, I think, yeah.
I mean, Florian, imagine if your mind was erased and you were put into a fucking Pikachu.
It's the plot of every Pokemon Mystery Dungeon game.
Well, I would just do stand-up, really. That's how I would deal with the existential horror of being a fucking Pokemon. I don't know, that seems pretty wild. Maybe I'd be really sad.
I was gonna say let's try not to spoil the movie until we get to spoilers. But I think we accidentally just said that the Pikachu is not really a Pikachu. So I guess everything is just out of the.
No, we're talking about how Ryan Reynolds was transformed into a Pikachu. What are you talking? Spoilers? How come on?
You know what? I mean, this review's coming out a week after the movie came out, and really, it's a fucking kids movie. Who cares? So let's just go through everything. Who wants to begin?
Out of the bag.
Glameow's out of the bag. Rich, tell me why you're mixed on this film.
So I really love everything about this movie conceptually. I basically just love this city, which is apparently from the Detective Pikachu game, which I haven't played. Rhyme City, where essentially Pokemon and humans coexist and cohabitate.
If you ask me, unnecessary. In normal Pokemon cities, the Pokemon also cohabitate with the humans. I don't know why they had to make it seem like this is a big how do you do. It could have just been any Pokemon city.
No, but it seems like they're explicitly not really about battling, and almost everything about the Kanto, Johto, Hoenn, Sinnoh, like all those places are pretty exclusively about battling.
Well, I mean, I guess in the games, like you go through these towns and you're pretty much the only trainer in each town. You only really encounter battles out in the wild and stuff. Like people just live normal lives with Pokemon.
Yeah, but like a gym is a major fixture in any town.
Yeah, that's true.
Like that's got to tell you something about the makeup of most of these places.
I feel that all the other towns use Pokemon as slaves, and then this one has got civil rights for Pokemon, but that's stupid because Pokemon aren't fucking human. They're subhuman garbage, and
what the fuck?
I mean, even in the real world, we have animal rights. You can't just torture an animal, Florian. I don't know.
Why can't you let me have my magical pet friend? Why? Why do you
animals should still be slaves? They should be beholden to our wills.
All right. Before we go any further, I have the hottest take you'll hear all day. But as soon as I finish this hot take and explain it, you will all realize that it is indeed a cold, calculated take, folks. God damn it! Listen up. There's been nothing but shitty video game adaptation movies, right? There's never been one until this one that has a positive rating on Rotten Tomatoes. Can you guys think of a good video game movie that
million? There's so many good ones. World of Warcraft, the Postal movie, Angry Birds, amazing. Just great movies on
well,
every
if we're
level.
going to go by, and I know we hate critics on this show, but if we're going to go by critical consensus, this is the best video game adaptation movie. But here's my hot take. I would go so far as to say, for the first time ever, the movie is better than the game it's based off of! Now, I know what you're thinking. I know what you're thinking. Mumkey, that's absurd. Pokemon's your favorite game. But no. No. This movie is not based off the Pokemon games. It's based off of Detective Pikachu, literally the worst game I've ever fucking paid $40 for in my life. I ripped off Target. I took it back, and I think I didn't do the refund thing correctly, but I said, hey, I bought the wrong game for my little brother. I don't know shit about Pokemons. He said he already had this one. Can I get a refund? 'Cause that's how shitty the game was. I returned a game to Target that had a save file on it, and I said I never opened it. It was it's atrocious. The worst fucking game I've ever played. So this movie just had to not make me want to kill myself, and it's better than the game. And folks, it's better than the game.
That must be the most acting you've ever had to do in your life, because for you to say you don't know anything about Pokemon and that you're returning this game because you got
I wanted my $40 back. I was a desperate man. I was so angry at that game for existing. What a piece of shit.
Can you tell me about what the story of that game is? Is it about
it is a point and click fucking like it's like, you know, Dora the Explorer? When she'll talk to the screen and say, okay, kids, where is the map? And then like a fucking mouse will appear on screen and click on it. It's the video game version of Dora the Explorer. It's fucking atrocious. It's literally made for 4-year-olds. It's the first Pokemon game that has no appeal to anybody over the age of 12, I swear to God. I was infuriated. You can't even lose. I would click on the wrong shit on purpose and it would say, oh no, try again. You literally can't fucking lose this baby game, and it made me so mad. Pokemon, normal Pokemon, I lose all the fucking time, and it feels good. It's a challenge. This was a handhold experience like no other.
What about, did you ever play Pokemon Snap?
No.
That's literally, you just take pictures of Pokemon, and like it's really hard to fuck up.
Well, at least it's cute.
I love that game.
At least it's fucking cute. There's nothing in this Detective Pikachu game. Nothing.
Yeah.
Fucking atrocious. That's my review of the game. Now let's talk about the movie.
Well, I gotta agree that this movie's better than any Pokemon game. I just don't know.
You've never played any of them.
I know, but I've seen them. They seem so boring.
You've watched all of Mumkey's Nuzlocke, is what you mean. Big fan.
I know.
Can we ban Florian? He's going to be a troll this entire time.
Did you watch Size Nuzlocke, and that's where you're big fan?
Oh my god, disgusting! No.
Did you watch Pro Jared's Nuzlocke, Florian?
I did.
Holy shit.
Pro Jared's Nuzlocke are kind of what got I ripped off his Nuzlocke pretty
Seriously?
much. Yeah, no, I was a big fan. Still am.
This must be a meme, right? Is he actually?
What?
Surely nobody got big on making Pokemon Nuzlocke. You gotta be pulling my leg here.
I mean, I don't know. He didn't get big for them, but he did one back like 7 years ago that I was really into, and it made me want to make them myself, and that's what I did when I started my channel.
He's the one who started all this.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, no, I copied his Nuzlocke, and then he copied me cheating on my girlfriend, so I guess, you know, the great minds think alike. We just copy each other at this point, I guess.
Did you send nudes to your fans as well? Damn.
Well, I mean, technically, Sheepover was a fan, so how are you supposed to get a girlfriend in the first place if you're not sending nudes to fans? That's my question.
I don't know. I think in my case, it might be easier without sending nudes.
Okay, so I guess to elaborate on what Erich is saying, this movie, it's so cool to see the Pokemon world come to life. It's cool just to see the mundanity of what it looks like for these Pokemon be interacting with humans.
There's a Machamp directing traffic, like
to help
all that
his
shit
friend.
was so great.
His friend Snorlax is taking a snooze in the middle of the road, so Machamp is directing traffic around him. He's a fucking hero. The little shit. I could have watched that all day. I didn't even need a plot.
No, I completely agree. Like, can you explain to me how Pokemon death works? Because like, if a Pokemon gets hit by a car, does it die?
I mean, if you get hit by a car, do you die?
Yeah, yeah, I do.
I'm pretty sure that the system of fainting and and dying is the same for people. Like you can get hit hard enough that you knock out but don't die, I assume.
Uh-huh. But like, yeah, there are definitely people who get hit by a car and die, and like, Cubone's having the skulls in their mother is contingent on their mother dying at some point, right?
Yeah,
no, that's just some stupid backstory. Don't get suckered in, all right? That's just how they Pokemon exist.
If we're gonna go into the backstory of Cubone, you have to assume that every time a Cubone gives birth, it has to immediately die, and its entire body, I guess, becomes a skeleton immediately.
And then Marowak's skeletons on their face is like completely different. So is it just the skeleton part?
How does it
evolves
all work?
As well as?
Oh my god!
Well, some people think it's Kangaskhan.
I do like that.
If a Kangaskhan dies, the baby puts the skull on, and then it becomes a new species, which also doesn't make sense because then it grows up to become a Marowak rather than a Kangaskhan. But what are you gonna do? I guess putting a bone on your head makes you ground type instead of normal. Fucking stupid! Immersion ruined. 0 out of 10 movie. No, there were no Kangaskhan in this movie. What a ripoff.
Slowpoke put the Sheldar on its tail, and all of a sudden it becomes a Slowbro.
And if
Come on, it becomes much more of a bro when it does that.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm surprised they didn't have one of those Pokemon hospitals where he goes and then he's immediately fully restored. Surprised they didn't put them in. That would have been interesting.
There were a lot of missed opportunities, I think. There's a lot of scenes at a police station. There's a scene when the main guy gets arrested. No officer named Jenny. Missed opportunity. Very easy joke.
Is Jenny in every land, like in Johto, there are Jennies? And...
Every single cop in every generation is Officer Jenny.
Damn.
Oh my god.
Well, just like Nurse Joy. I mean, it's because the people making the anime, like, it's funny for one, but also they just don't want to design a new cop character every episode. So just make them all look and sound identical. It's great.
Do you think somebody tries to go around and bang every Officer Jenny?
Yeah, his name's Brock.
But he fails.
Well, yeah, but he still tries. That was the question.
yeah, that's true. I mean, somebody who succeeds, and like maybe they get porn of every single, like they film their sex with every single one, and then you essentially have the same person every time.
Yeah, are they all the same age? Were they all born of the same mother at the same time?
I don't know.
I think they're canonically cousins, but they all appear to be, and it's weird that they all went into the same line of work too.
All right, Monkey, let's break down some of the problems I have with this movie, because this movie gets deep into like the evolution of Pokemon. Actually, it doesn't really get deep into that. It's just a dumb side thing.
It's the philosophy of the villain that to evolve is to become better, and Pokemon can evolve. E-Rich, I don't know if you know that,
but like he's going into a Mewtwo. And Mewtwo is
I've had many wet dreams about going into Mewtwo.
Coming inside of Mewtwo.
We've all been there.
Yeah. So his entire thing is going into Mewtwo. Mewtwo is not a Pokemon that evolves. And he is like a bastardized genetic human fuckery version of
Florian
Mew.
is right here. Please don't talk shit about him like that.
Who?
You said he's a bastardized DNA fuckery. I'm like, come on, leave Florian out of this. What did he ever do?
How fucking dare you?
Well, him too.
Are you telling me that Mewtwo doesn't evolve from Mew? Oh my god.
No, he doesn't.
No, even in the movie they explained that they used Mew's DNA to make a new Pokemon.
But I assume when you catch a Mew, it's gonna evolve into a Mewtwo eventually.
No, never.
That's not how it works.
That's retarded.
Well, that's fucking crazy.
You're fucking crazy. Okay, E-Rich, keep listing the problems so I can tell you why they're actually pure Kino.
There are basically a couple things where like the Eevee he's got evolves into a Flareon, and it just happens randomly. Like I kind of wish that, like, I know they're not doing battles in this movie, but it was just like, oh, can they just evolve whenever, like at any time?
You have to use a Firestone, so I imagine what was the main character's name?
Just
no one knows
the actor's name. I don't.
Really memorable character, I guess. But I guess as soon as he walked through the door, the bad guy just cut his Eevee with the Firestone to make him evolve. And I don't remember exactly what the bad guy said, but it was something along the like he wanted to show off the evolution of Eevee, and he said, yes, Pokemon evolution to make them the most powerful versions of themselves. And I'm thinking, bitch, there are 12 better evolutions than fucking Flareon.
Right.
You picked the wrong one. What the hell? He could have done, Sylveon, Vaporeon would have been better. Flareon sucks dick. What are you doing?
Well, it's not about battle in this city, you see.
No, I know, but like the movie feels like it is a very like interesting spin on Pokemon evolution, but it's just not like deep enough into that idea. Like I would understand if he was like mining these different stones or something in order to find out like what is it about these stones that makes Pokemon evolve. Like his entire plan comes down to I am going to mind swap into Mewtwo so I never have to die. But his entire plan is contingent on the detectives finding out all of these things and then leading them back to him.
Yeah.
Why would he do that?
Well, it doesn't even make sense on the face of it because he only temporarily switches into his Mewtwo, but then his plan is to switch everyone else into Pokemon too. How does that benefit him? How does that make him live longer? I don't understand. It's such a stupid villain.
Yeah,
Jesus.
I think the problem is that they took the quality standard for a script of like every year they make a new animated Pokemon movie. I think the problem is they didn't up the quality of the script for the first live action one, because if this was like I could easily see this being, the 24th Pokemon animated movie with this plot.
No, and especially when you've got like people inhibiting Pokemon through their souls or something, where like a human body just disappears and then their soul goes into the Pokemon. Like that is something I could definitely see happening in a cartoon, and I probably wouldn't bat an eye. But the fact that this is happening in a fucking live action movie is just really weird. I think if they had stayed with, he was trying to control Pokemon somehow using the R-gas or whatever, like it just was too complicated, but also not deep enough into the lore of Pokemon that I felt like it was really doing justice to a lot of those concepts.
Yeah, I feel like I'm breaking my own standards of criticism because with this one, I'm so lenient with how stupid the villain plot is because I just loved seeing the Pokemon world come to life, and I feel like a big dickhead that I'm like allowing this movie to do some shitty stuff in it. Like I'm too forgiving of it, but it just made me so happy.
Yeah, I think that's
fanboy. Okay. Just like adventures all over.
Well, that's why I'm glad you're here, Florian, so that you can be as objective as possible about the film.
I don't know if I'm that. Man, there's so many reviewers that just suck this movie's cock for no reason.
Wait,
I don't
really?
get it.
I didn't really read any reviews, but I think the general consensus is pretty much like straight down the middle. It's fine for the most part.
The consensus is if you're a fan of Pokemon, you'll love it, and if you're not, then don't bother.
Yeah.
Which I guess isn't good if you're trying to make a good movie. It might be one of those AVGN movie things where it's like, if you're a fan of AVGN, you might like this movie. Otherwise, don't watch this shit. You're gonna hate it.
Yeah.
Florian, give us more of your thoughts on what didn't work for you.
Oh, I guess I must have been watching a lot of nerds who just like Pokemon then on the internet. Damn. Well, I guess I already pointed out the main two things. It's just like just the humor and the Ryan Reynolds in it. Even though I guess there was that one scene where he said, "Forget about his jacket. Where's his shirt?" I like that one. Fucking stupid guy without a shirt.
Did you like the scene when Ryan Reynolds was sadly singing the Pokemon theme song?
Yeah, that one was pretty good.
That was hilarious.
Except for the fact that he just pointlessly just had to insert some drama because, I guess now's the time in the movie where we can't get along for 5 minutes.
You're acting like you've never felt guilt or regret for your actions, Florian.
Yeah.
Sometimes you remember the throwaway line when he said, I push people away and then hate them for leaving. It turns out that was a deep-seated thought from the Ryan Reynolds character, because that's exactly what he did to his son. You thought it was nothing but a joke, but this Kino film was 3 steps ahead, too deep for you. Gotta catch 'em all. Gotta catch...
Yeah, too bad. It was all...
Very bad.
Too bad it was all ruined by the fact that I've seen the trailer like 10 times, and I had to see that retarded scene with the fucking mime so many times.
Come on, that was so fucking great.
Yeah,
here's why.
How was that great after seeing the trailer?
I was
10
disappointed
times?
that there wasn't more of it because they gave
Oh
most
my
of it away in the
God.
fucking
Now,
trailer.
let me tell you why it is great, because they didn't ruin the funniest part of it in the trailer. When
Yeah.
the darkest humor of the whole fucking movie.
The fucking match?
Yeah,
Holy
he
shit.
accidentally sets Mr. Mime on fire while he's locked in a cage. And like the look of pure sheer horror on Mr. Mime's face right before it cuts to the next scene is so fucking funny. And I read some stuff and they said
Holy shit.
that scene, it took them months to convince the Pokemon company to let them put that in the movie.
God. Oh my god.
It's a miracle that it even got in because it was so dark and so fucking funny.
So
it's
what
fucking
happened
hilarious.
there? Did he feel like he was burning alive for 10 minutes?
That's the implication, yes.
Yeah.
But he's not actually gonna burn to death,
No.
is he?
Well, I don't know because
I think
wait,
psychic type. So
and we hear sound effects of him pretending to be on a motorcycle. So
yeah, right.
Clearly, the illusions Mr. Mime is creating are real on some level. The question is, when Tim, I think his name was Tim, when he is miming, does Mr. Mime actually feel it? I don't know. Maybe Tim's a psychic type.
And so I think he's probably going along with it, but I don't know. I always assumed that Mime was just trolling everyone. I didn't think he'd actually ever be overtaken by his illusions.
Well, I think it's possible that I'm like too worked up about like how the Pokemon's movesets are used in this. Where like when Mime was doing that, is he using like barrier? And like is he using some kind of psychic move that does these things?
Well, let me ask you this, E-Rich, because you're a big fan of Pokemon. You know that psychic attacks don't work on Dark type. So as an African American, how did Tim even get affected by Mr. Mime's attacks?
He's mixed race, so.
Oh, and also, I guess he's probably not African American because he lives in the Pokemon world.
So he's a half black man, yeah.
Speaking of a mixed race, folks, I guessed the twist almost immediately.
Wow!
Almost immediately, as when you have. And I don't mean to bring up, the race of any actor, but I think it was obviously it was a very specific choice. When you have a mixed race lead in a movie and they are only showing one of their parents, and I learned this from Spider-Man Homecoming, the twist is probably going to be that the other parent isn't the race that your racist mind thinks it's going to be. And as soon as we see, his cop dad, and they keep showing him in flashbacks and in simulations, but you never see his face, I'm thinking, that has to be fucking Ryan Reynolds. There's no reason why they're not showing his face. It has to be. Which begs the question.
Idiot.
Begs the question, Florian, if you hadn't heard your dad's voice in 10 years, would you recognize it?
No, and also, I guess that also happens. So I assume I would definitely not recognize it.
Okay. A lot of the criticism I've seen is that, how did he not recognize Pikachu as his dad's voice? But the movie tells us he hasn't seen his dad since he was 11. It's been 10 years. I probably wouldn't remember distinctly either what he sounds like. And I also would not be expecting a talking Pikachu to be my dad. Like I'm pretty sure
he's probably so freaked out about a Pikachu talking to him that's the last thing on his mind.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Besides, if he's like, I don't know, 15 years old, then he must have been 5 years when he heard it last.
He's like 20 in the movie because he's working at an insurance
He's
place.
not 20.
Yeah, he's like 20.
Dude, that's a fucking teenager. What the hell?
No, dude, he's like 20 years old in the movie.
Well, how old is the actor?
Shit.
Yeah, he's like getting promoted at the insurance company.
I don't know. I swear I've never seen a younger man before. Oh, man.
Well, I guess, Mr. Rich Corn Pizza Florian, buy another copy of Binding of Isaac, doesn't know how jobs work. Teenagers, they probably work at insurance. I don't know how jobs work. I'm Florian. I just make video games all day, folks. What's a real job? I don't know. Binding of Isaac, folks.
I've got a new pizza for you, oh man.
Wait, what's the new pizza? Pokemon pizza?
It's called the American Dream. Oh man, you're never gonna guess what's on this pizza.
Bacon.
Wait, time out. Is this a meme? Is there really a pizza at your local pizza place called the American Dream?
It's real.
Okay. We have to fuck Pokemon. We have to guess what is on this, E-Rich, because we are living the American Dream, E-Rich. We should know what this pizza is off the top of our head. Okay,
There's definitely bacon on there.
Okay, is there bacon?
Nope, just regular.
What the fuck?
Regular ham.
America very famous for its agriculture. I'm guessing there'll be some corn on that pizza.
Nope.
No corn. What the fuck? What kind of American dream is dead? Trump was right.
Florian, is there American cheese on it?
No.
What the fuck?
Kind of American dream
Is there cheese at all on this atrocity?
Well, actually, I guess you get to choose your cheese, but I usually get mozzarella.
This pizza is an American nightmare.
Okay, no. I got some ideas. There's hamburger meat and French fries on the pizza.
No.
What the fuck?
Wow.
You're never gonna guess.
Hot dogs chopped up into pieces.
What did you say?
Hot dogs.
Nope.
A whole steak.
No.
What?
All right, let me tell you that you will never guess that this is the American.
Jesus Christ!
It's got mushrooms and eggs.
What? What the fuck?
That's French.
Yeah. In America, we would spit on that shit.
Is this not the American dream?
No.
Never.
Trump was right all along.
It's really good though. I don't know, man.
Eggs and mushrooms?
How can you call anything American food if it's not like covered in barbecue sauce and meat?
Yeah.
How do they do it? Who knows?
I don't know. You got to come to America and try some real fucking American food, dude. They're lying to you over in Austria. That's not American dream.
I'm starting to doubt that what they're even calling pizza is actually pizza.
He's like eating a sandwich.
Yeah. I think whatever they're putting corn on is not an actual piece of pizza.
You're gonna try pizza with egg and mushrooms. It's too good, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I like mushrooms on pizza, but I wouldn't call it my American dream. Anyway, let's get back to the Pokemon dream, folks. This movie was a Pokemon dream come true.
Oh my god!
You guys have been shitting on it for so long. Let's see if there's anything positive we can think of.
Who was your favorite Pokemon realized in this movie?
Ooh, well. You know, I'm a big Snorlax fan. I feel like he was underserved a bit in the film. I'm glad of the 50 Pokemon that they chose to include. I'm glad he got in there.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there was only 50. That can't be right.
I'm pretty sure the director said they only had 50 or 60 unique Pokemon types.
Yeah, because you started seeing a lot of like the same ones.
Or did they only have the starter Pokemons from Red?
No.
I don't know.
I thought it was
Why
weird
would they be so limited?
There would be like 8 Sneasels hanging out on the street. Like that's not the Pokemon I would really expect to be, street trash hanging out.
And you think climate, like I think of Sneasels as like hanging around in cold climates, so
like
I
in a
wouldn't
cave.
expect them to be in a city.
Yeah.
Which ones are they? Are they the monkeys?
Blue with long claws.
Yeah, you wouldn't remember them from the movie. The monkeys are Apom, the ones that go all ape shit, literally.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Did you feel you were not being represented, Monkey, when you saw the Apons go fucking?
I'm more of a Mankey man myself, so.
I see.
Yeah, it's very racist of you to make that assumption, but I guess.
I thought they represented you very well. What are you talking about?
I was gonna make some sort of joke about like the Sean King riots in the scene when the fucking Apoms go crazy, but I think we'll just skirt along to the next topic instead.
Yeah,
man,
I was gonna save that one for Asterios.
Yeah, I was gonna say Asterios would have not found anything to get triggered by, but you proved me wrong. I can't believe you found so much racial humor in this movie. Jesus.
Florian, what was your favorite Pokemon on screen?
Probably Charizard, I guess.
Yeah, man, that's legit.
Actually, Magikarp was the best. He was so cute. Oh my god.
Is it a cop out to say Pikachu?
Yes.
No, they did so much good work with Pikachu in this movie.
Yeah.
But speaking of Charizard, I know it's a noir movie. It's called Detective Pikachu, but it is Pokemon as well. So I'm glad they teased us with Pokemon battles. Right. But man, the scene with Gengar versus Blastoise, it was so cool, man.
It really was. It really was.
And it wasn't even a full battle. We just see him like using Shadow Clone Jutsu and shit. I want to see this aesthetic, this live action CGI version of actual Pokemon battles. That better be the next one. Like this is a nice introduction into the world. But give us, I want to get 1 million more Pokemon movies in this world. I don't want a Detective Pikachu sequel because you can't, because he's not Ryan Reynolds anymore. Give me a guy who who falls in love at the Elite Four, and then the girl he loves with, that's his final battle. Who will become champion?
Oh,
exciting!
Shit.
Give me a mafia movie. Scarface for kids. A guy rises through the ranks of Team Rocket. Give me that movie. I want a million Pokemon movies. I want one a year. You know how Star Wars is fucking up doing a movie every year. Now they have to slow down. They should have 3 Pokemon movies every year. I'll go see all of them. Don't have them
I'm
even.
Here for it.
Maybe have a cameo every now and then from a different movie, but otherwise, new characters every time, new Pokemons every time, new story. There's so much shit you can do in this world. I want to see a Pokemon Ocean's 11, where it's talking Pokemon, like we can hear from their perspective. And it's like, okay, we're going to go on this heist, and we need a Pokemon who can do this. And it's just like Ocean's 11, but they're getting different Pokemon and using their abilities to do the heist. It'd be fucking dope!
So
getting carried away there, but I definitely want to see those Pokemon battles more. I couldn't wait to see this universe unshackled from Ryan Reynolds. That would be great.
Oh, fuck off.
Monkey,
do it.
This movie is really weird to me in that, like, Rhyme City is not really a region we've really been to much in the games other than Detective Pikachu. But the Mewtwo from this movie is the Mewtwo from the original Pokemon movie. Like, it is treated the exact same way and makes allusions to that. That kind of blew my mind that they would like so directly connect these things. And if you don't really know much about that story, you might be a little bit confused about what exactly this thing is.
Well, I actually tend to disagree. I think it's nothing more than a glorified reference, because at the end of the first Pokemon movie, Mewtwo learns, like, he in this new movie, he thinks that humanity is evil, and then he learns that it's not because Ryan Reynolds helps him.
What happens in Mewtwo Returns, though?
In the first Pokemon movie, like, it ends with him. Well, I don't know about the Japanese version, but in the American.
But then there's a sequel. There's a sequel, though.
Well, whatever. My point is, the Mewtwo I know from the movies does not end up hating humanity. It's like a happy ending where he learns a lesson and flies off with his clones to start their own island.
Yeah, but there's a sequel to that movie, and I can't remember how he ends in that one.
Oh, well, I doubt it ends with him hating humanity. That sounds pretty dark for a Pokemon movie for kids. But I don't know.
Well, I guess they just have to clone Mewtwo in every city, and then it goes wild and tries to destroy humanity. I think that's probably a reasonable plot, don't you think?
No.
No? Why did they do it then? Why do they always do it?
I don't know. I feel like I wouldn't have gone down the Mewtwo route for this movie. Seems like that could have been more of a Thanos thing. Like, you build up to the Mewtwo plot, and then you actually,
like, if you're gonna make it about Mewtwo, then make it about Mewtwo. Don't make it about somebody who's co-opting Mewtwo for their own kind of shitty, stupid goals.
Yeah,
Mewtwo wasn't even that evil in this one. I think it was doing all right most of the time, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. I mean, it hated humanity, it said, but then because Ryan Reynolds helped him, it learned not to hate humanity.
Right.
But I
how
think,
did he
like,
help it?
Going into it, I really just wanted like a small scale heist, or not heist, but, you know, noir detective thing. But then, of course, it's a big blockbuster, so it has to be, the plot is this guy is going to take over the world and turn everybody into a Pokemon. And I don't know. It felt to me like it was too big of a story, and that's why everybody hates the villain plot, because it's just too big and stupid and goofy. If it was more street level crime,
that's what I want.
Pikachu, like, yeah, that's what I want to.
Make it more about exploring this world than about being this big dumb plot thing.
But this is the only time we get a real battle. Come on, there's not the other stuff is just them doing random stuff, and then he pulls a standoff routine. Finally, there's some action, and you don't like that. Damn.
Monkey, can you remember? Does Ditto turn into humans in the anime?
Oh yeah, he definitely does.
Okay, all right.
The thing about Ditto, though, is that I thought he could only turn into something that he is actively looking at. So that might have been. I might be wrong about that, but the fact that in this he can just randomly transform into whatever he wants consistently. Doesn't that make Ditto the most powerful Pokemon?
It should.
In the movie, was he retaining his shitty stats when he became a champ, or was he as powerful as a Machamp? Because if he was, then just fucking, you don't need to steal Mewtwo. Just put your brain shit on, become the Ditto, and then you can be Mewtwo. You can be whatever you want. I don't know why this guy wanted to be Mewtwo
No,
so
it
bad.
wouldn't
Just become
work, you
Ditto.
see.
Mhm.
If he transforms, then the headset's just gonna fall off. Use your head.
Oh, yeah, no, that's true. You're right.
They're busted.
Just stick it inside Ditto's membrane. He's just a little glob. Just stick it in there. It'll always be inside you.
Yeah, but he turns into something hard. It
Did you
would
guys
just crush it.
when Ditto was in disguise as the bad guy's son and he's wearing the sunglasses? Did anybody else get Milo Yiannopoulos vibes?
Yes, that was all I could think about.
Holy shit!
Fucking killed me in the theater. I just imagined it was Milo the whole time.
How do you know
Dangerous
about
F-slur.
Milo even? Jesus.
I'm a big fan.
What?
I too am a dangerous faggot.
Isn't he alt-right now? I don't know.
Oh, shut up.
What do you mean now?
Everybody
He
needs to
always
stop
has
calling
been.
everybody alt-right. I'm so sick of this shit.
You fucking goddamn edgy meme boy. You don't know about the real danger of the alt-right.
I'm so sick of gay Jewish people being accused of being alt-right, man. You people need to learn the definitions before you start using these words.
You're being so stupid right now, Jesus.
Oh,
Just
God.
because he's gay and
just
Jewish,
talk
he
about the
can't be a
Pokemon.
Nazi.
Yeah, can we just talk about Pokemon, please?
Please, for the love of God.
God damn it.
All right, so when you saw Ryan Reynolds on screen, were you shocked as I was?
No, like I said,
Monkey
I saw
wasn't,
it coming.
he was. Yeah, I did not see it coming, and I was like, "Holy shit, that's actually Ryan Reynolds." What about you, Florian?
Whoa, they got Ryan Reynolds in this movie. Shit.
Yeah, what the fuck?
I don't know. I would have hoped they would have used someone else's face, but damn, I guess it had to be him.
Mhm.
I don't know, I saw that his punchable face ruined it all,
Oh
but
my
never
God.
mind, I guess.
Jesus
Why
Christ.
do you hate Deadpool too?
Well, I mean, he is supposed to be a piece of shit, so he's fine in that one. But I don't know. He
Personally,
annoys me so much.
I'm on the Ryan Reynolds train. I like all the marketing he does for these movies. I think he's a really funny guy, and I thought he was basically the best part of this movie. I really liked Pikachu.
No, I completely agree.
I don't know. I think I may prefer generic animated movies over Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah.
And I feel that he's just dominated this in a way that just removed all the generic charm that I would have enjoyed. What a shame.
What did you guys think of the scene where it's revealed Torterra? There's a whole bunch of Torterra that are
giant ones.
Yeah, they're like as big as mountains. Did you guys think that was cool, or maybe a little pushing the boundaries of your plausible deniability?
I thought it was cool. I don't really understand like what the point of giant Torterras would be.
Yeah.
Like they would just sit there, right? Like it's not
yeah. I think the implication is for the rest of eternity, those guys are just going to be sitting there unable to move without causing a fucking massive earthquake that kills everybody. So it's kind of sad.
I did like that sequence where like the forest was like parallel.
Did you think and I assume this is ad-libbed as Florian would hate. Did you think that Pikachu's line about climate change denial during that scene was out of place? Does the Pokemon universe also have global warming?
I liked that.
How could it have global warming?
I thought it was
funny. They could just use ice Pokemons and cool everything down. Yeah. Jeez.
I thought it was a funny line, but I figured it was ad-libbed because I don't think it really belonged super well. Right. But it's a funny line.
It is more for the audience than it's for anybody in the movie.
Like I could see Deadpool saying it for sure.
What does ad-lib mean?
Like
it's not scripted. It's on set.
Yeah, like he came up with it while he was in the booth.
Yeah, I swear. How much did he improvise in this movie?
I read that he did so much improv that there's like an R-rated cut of the movie that they could make.
I did see that. Holy shit.
This is exactly what I hate. I bet he doesn't even... I bet the script was going to be entirely different, and then he just makes up some shit, and then they have to animate it. I don't know, man.
I think it's more of just like throwing in a couple clever lines, and then the director decides what to include.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess. I don't know. It seems pretty chaotic to me. I don't think I would like it. But I didn't mind the climate change stuff. And man, those huge things, they're so bizarre. How could he have made them without anyone knowing? I mean, they would be like the eighth wonder of the world or something.
Man, you just buy a bunch of fucking land and then you just do whatever the fuck you want to do on that land.
Yeah, I guess
A
so.
bunch of land. How big are they? They're probably so much land. Oh my god!
Yeah.
And aren't they near the city? I don't know.
Oh, that reminds me. Speaking of things that were probably annoying, what do you guys think of the female reporter character?
She was almost like I forget about her instantly. I remember Psyduck more than her.
No, she was great.
That's what you liked, Florian?
Yeah, she was cute. What are you on about?
That's another thing where if this was an animated film, I would have been fine with it. But in live action, some of that dialogue seemed kind of cringy. I felt bad for the actress that they made her say that shit.
I thought she did an all right job of delivering it.
Yeah,
it's
with
just
what
not,
they gave her, yeah.
Yeah,
no, that was fucking Ryan Reynolds again. He just shits all over the kid for saying that one line, and then it just points out how cringy the whole thing is. It would have been fine if he had shut up, Pikachu.
Yeah. So I guess Erich and I can agree, perhaps, not the strongest writing on this movie, but it's forgivable. Florian, it sounds more like I guess you enjoyed the shitty writing and didn't like the Pokemon. Is that right?
Yeah, I think Ryan Reynolds must have ruined all the amazing shitting writing that would have gone into it. He just ad-libs over it, and oh my god, now it's all stupid slapstick.
I will for sure say this, Monkey. There is a lot of ways they could have majorly fucked up a Pokemon movie.
Oh yeah.
This is in no way a major fuck up, and I actually really like quite a lot of it. It's just I wish it was a bit simpler and didn't need to go into the crazy Mewtwo, crazy evolution, crazy body swapping stuff. It just went too far too soon, and I felt didn't properly utilize those pieces of the world. But overall, like it's a great exploration of what living with Pokemon would be like, and I just loved seeing it on screen. So,
do you guys know that that viral video of the guy, like the 40-year-old guy, reacting to the new Star Wars trailer, and then everybody tried to make fun of him?
Yeah.
If I would have filmed my reaction throughout this movie, like I probably would have looked as stupid as that guy. Like I had the biggest, dumbest grin on my face just watching this the whole time. And I mean, I'll say this again, folks. It might not be the greatest in terms of film quality, but as a Pokemon fan, it just brought me so much joy, nurse joy, you could say, in my pants. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if you're a Pokemon fan, you've already seen it. This review is pointless for you. And if you're not a Pokemon fan, I would not recommend it. I would say it's probably not Kino for you. But if we're going to put this onto the Kino board, folks, as a lifelong Pokemon fan, it's pure nostalgia, happiness, Kino, I got to say. I can't wait to see 100 more movies in the Pokemon cinematic universe.
I think this is the necessary first step that they have to take for a Pokemon franchise. You have to introduce a lot of these concepts to people for the first time. You have to
my
allow
question
them to
is,
explore
do you
this
even
world.
need to? Do normies need an introduction? I think Pokemon is so big that the movie will be successful regardless, even if...
Well, but I'm sure that there are parents who played Pokemon who are taking their kids in to watch this movie who have very little awareness of a lot of the mechanical ways that the world works.
Kids are smart, they'll catch on to what happens, okay?
Yeah.
Kids can learn a language just from listening to it. You can't do that. Kids are gonna figure out how fucking Pokemon work, alright?
You a big fan of Pokemon Go over in Austria, Florian?
Wait, well, wasn't that like a 1-week phenomenon? Isn't that all that was?
No, man. There's people outside my house right now playing Pokemon Go.
And they're trying to throw balls at you, trying to catch you.
Yeah, I mean, there's somebody outside my house yelling "Go." I assume they're talking to Pokemon and not me. I don't know.
Damn.
Is there a Pokemon called White Boy? Because there's a bunch of African American people just yelling "White Boy Go" outside of my house. I don't know what's going on.
What the fuck, Monkey?
I don't know what's going on. I'm scared.
Are you
really
trying
scared.
to turn one of us into a triggered Asterios? Jesus.
I'm not. I think they're triggered by me. They're trying to get me out of this neighborhood or something. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
The more you ask me to elaborate, the longer the joke's gonna go. So you should really just think of something else to say.
I just want to talk about Pokemon.
Rich, what are your final thoughts on the Pokemon movie?
Yeah, I think if they expand on this and really build up a cool Pokemon world where we can see battles and like all the ideas you essentially Team Rocket movie heists, all that
Hell
shit.
yeah.
Like really make the most out of using these cool creatures for different tasks and goals and stuff like that. Yeah, I liked Detective Pikachu well enough. I think probably about 60 to 70% of it is to my liking, and
You gotta plug it into the
great
moist meter.
moist
No.
meter.
Oh, you're gonna
He
give it
doesn't get it.
70% on the moist meter.
Moist meter.
Yeah.
Is that how much
Sure.
you got?
I have
Don't
no
look
idea.
it up. It's a piece of shit. Don't even.
Whoa!
It's like on the worst YouTube channel of all time.
Whoa!
Oh my god.
Whoa! I'm in no position to make to make enemies with that guy. I like that guy. What's his name?
What, you like
Critical?
that guy? Didn't he put you on the bonus episode? Who would do that to a man? Who would just put someone on a bonus episode?
Hey, I worked for free to provide his fans with
Exactly.
paid content. I'm a real hero.
Yeah, I know, but he's exploiting you just like they exploit the Pokemons.
Well,
Mm.
I'm sure he's just waiting to invite me onto an actual episode. He
No.
probably has a big full schedule.
Well, you know me, I would never have such a thing as empathy. It doesn't really matter how he treated you. I just think that he makes a shitty podcast and then he has like 10-minute ad breaks 3 times in that podcast. Disgusting, unlistenable. And then his movie reviews suck as well, but never mind. Let's not get into it, I guess.
Didn't the PCP put you on a bonus episode unpaid? How's that any different?
Well, no, that's fine. I like hanging out with that. That was fun. Besides, I was
talking about Pokemon.
Yeah.
fucking Erich. Yeah, I want to see Pokemon the universe as well. Okay, I want to see a dark version of that Team Rocket movie you were saying, where someone rises through the ranks by just stepping over bodies.
Specifically, I want it to be like a Scarface thing where he says, "Say hello to my little friend," and then he like releases Pokemon and it starts fucking shit up. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, he just has some kind of flamethrower Pokemon.
Or like coughing comes out and starts poison gassing everybody instead of his fucking AK-47 or whatever that gun was.
And he dies too.
Monkey, I was a little bit disappointed by the Greninjas in this movie. I feel like they were kind of built up in the trailer, and then they didn't really get to do a whole lot.
Yeah, personally, I'm not a really big Greninja fan. I didn't really care.
I'm not a big fan either, but like for about 3 seconds, there was like almost a horror movie aspect to them.
Yeah, wrapping people up with their tongues upside down on the ceiling and shit.
Yeah, I expected them to be like a bad guy presence in the movie, and they just kind of fuck off pretty soon after they get involved. So,
well, speaking of Pokemon not reaching their full potential, what would you think of a like an ISIS Pokemon movie where it's all the Pokemon that can use explosion and they just start blowing shit up?
Oh my god! Wow.
I thought you were gonna talk about humans that just think that the Pokemon are just they're just disgusting and they're just against the laws of God and they try to blow up all the Pokemon.
That would also be a good movie.
You're going.
If they want to make an R-rated movie, I want to see like the ISIS group who wants to exterminate all Pokemon instead of infidels.
Well, to be honest, I'd rather see like Templars and they really hate Pokemon and yeah, that would be. I guess it would be historical because I mean it wouldn't make sense now because Pokemon would have been around for so long. But back in the day, maybe the Pokemon just came to medieval Europe and then these Templars have to resist them. That could be cool.
Well, hey, Florian, what are your final thoughts? And is it Kino?
Well, it's pretty obvious that it just depends on whether or not you like Ryan Reynolds. It doesn't even depend on if you like Pokemon because they're just pretty bland in this, and you can enjoy them, I guess, if you want. Just, I guess you've seen Deadpool, you've seen this. I don't know.
Wow.
Up to you.
I think Danny DeVito's voice also would have been good, but then the big reveal that it's actually his father, that would have almost made it the funniest movie ever made if like his dad was Danny DeVito the whole time. You guys see all that shit about everybody signing petitions trying to get Danny DeVito cast in the movie?
Yeah.
What is Danny DeVito even doing these days?
It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, the TV show.
Still? Jesus, I can't believe that thing's still going.
Yeah.
Isn't that always the same joke every episode?
I mean, you guys trying to trigger me now? What's going on?
Oh no. How
Okay.
you like it?
So I think we've all gave our final thoughts. Does anybody have any final thoughts, or should we move on to letters from listeners?
Wow, we have letters?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. All right.
Can't wait. Yeah, let's
it's
do
Kino.
this.
It's Poke Kino.
I'm glad all three of us can agree. We all love Ryan Reynolds. We all love Pokemon.
That's right.
No.
All right, this we have a first letter of the day. It comes from Ryan Reynolds fan 221. He says, "I hope Florian enjoys this movie." Okay, well, should have
Oh wow.
should have read that last week, I guess.
And
that's it. That's it for the letter section of the episode.
Oh well,
Okay.
that was good. Yeah, I can't wait to hear the letters next time. I think the letters were kind of weak this episode, but make sure to send in more letters. Maybe it'll be funny next time.
Damn, Florian, leave the letter section alone. What did they ever do?
It's a time-honored tradition on this podcast. I guess
How are they supposed to know?
Now we have to move on to the final segment that we always do, which of course is
can't
recommendations, movies,
Right.
or anything really that we would like to recommend that the audience go check out at home while waiting for John Wick Chapter 3 to come out. That will be reviewing hopefully soon. Florian, is there anything you would like to recommend to the good people at home?
Well, I would recommend to watch the first Pokemon movie again. I think that one still holds up very well.
Oh, you actually like that one? That's good.
Yeah, I used to like that one, and then at some point I wanted to see the next Pokemon movie, but my mom didn't like the previous one, so I guess it never happened. What a tragic shame. Maybe this is why I don't like him this much anymore. Who knows?
Oh, your mom brainwashed you.
Oh no. She was not entertained when we saw The Power of One, I guess. Was the one that she didn't like.
Power One. Which one is that? Pokemon 2000, the one with Moltres and all that.
I think it might be the second one.
Yeah, Pokemon 2000.
Yeah, the one where it just in the end it's just Ash was the key and he was the savior.
Yeah, it was a great pun because in the prophecy they said the world will turn to ash. Little did they know it was a person named Ash. They didn't do that in the Japanese version because his name's fucking Satoshi or some shit. That's why don't listen to the motherfucking Japanese dub, folks. You're gonna miss out on hidden gems like that. English dub all the way. English dub here to stay, folks.
What was the original dub or sub? Did they just say the world will turn to Satoshi?
It's probably just some other random bullshit. I don't know.
Satoshi,
those first three animated Pokemon movies, I think, are Kino. I mean, it's probably
yes.
It might be nostalgia goggles, but I really love all of them.
Yeah, Pokemon 3, the movie, is super fucking good.
Entei stealing Ash's mom and shit,
Hell
man.
Yeah.
It's so good. That's my recommendation. I'm going to recommend...
Molly coming up with fake Pokemon.
Hell yeah. Molly's a 6-year-old who imagines herself as a sexy teenager. I'm all confused as a kid. Like, wait, so is this okay? What's going on here, folks? Yeah. I don't know. That's my recommendation. We're recommending shit. Go watch Pokemon 3. Tell me when it's appropriate for Molly to give you a boner. My current consensus is probably never, but maybe your mileage will vary, folks.
Are my confusing feelings about Molly Kino? Yes, they are.
And don't even get me started on that little Manphy or whatever the fucking Pokemon's called.
Man, so was this even your favorite one of the Pokemon movies?
The third one might be my favorite one. I really like
No, I mean Pikachu. Was Pikachu the favorite one?
Wait, of all Pokemon movies, is the new one my favorite?
Yeah.
Man,
that's what I'm asking.
It's hard to compare that shit, man.
Well, should it be? Why wouldn't the new one be the best one? It's got the best graphics. How could it not be better?
Because it's a different genre. It's like an animated movie and an American blockbuster movie.
And like, I like the story of the first movie better than this.
If they reanimate the story of the first movie, it'd be 10 out of 10.
It'd be
Why did they waste the time on this?
They already are doing that. They're doing a 3D animated version of the movie.
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Like
Maybe
Florian,
that would be Pokemon Kino finally.
Do you think the American live action Ghost in the Shell would be any better than the Japanese animated film? Like, just because it's new, it should be better?
I mean, it should be better. I don't know. Apparently, it didn't turn out that well, but I haven't seen it. Maybe everyone's wrong about it. Could be.
Florian, for me, it's all about the story. If they fuck up the story in some way, I'm going to be less kind to it. But also, I'm probably fucking so nostalgic for the movie. The first
What are
three
you
movies
talking
were-
about then?
Yeah,
Well-
the story in this thing was not that good.
Florian, there's a part in the first Pokemon movie where the clones of the Pokemon are fighting. And it
I
is
know,
so
that one's
fucking
pretty
sad.
sad.
And Ash goes in the center of all these Pokemon fighting, and he gets fucking destroyed.
He gets turned to stone and shit. He's getting thrown
He's
around
turned
the
to
room.
stone. And then, like, this is super dumb, but like all the Pokemon cry, and then he's brought back to life. It doesn't make any sense, but it was real to me. Damn it!
Oh, here's underrated a sad moment. That might be
Yeah.
the saddest moment, but what gets me choked up is when Pikachu is trying to evade capture and he's fighting his hardest and he's like running up the
Yeah.
spiral staircase and he
Right.
becomes exhausted and passes out. But then fucking Ash loves Pikachu so much he dives into like at the last second into the vent where the Pokeballs are
Yeah.
going into, and he's just like going down the chute yelling, "Ah, come back, Pikachu!" And I'm thinking, God, man, I wish somebody
Yeah.
loved me that fucking much. It's so
Right.
sad. He's like literally committing suicide trying to save Pikachu. Oh,
Man, that's exactly what I'm talking about. It's such a great franchise, movie-wise, and that's with like, I don't know, 12 frames per second, tiny animation. Imagine how great that would have been if it was actually good looking. And not talking about Marvel here, because Marvel's got something going on where it's just too realistic looking. But if it was like the way...
Shut the fuck up.
No. No, face it. It would have been better if they had just made movies in the vein of that movie instead of this. Come on, admit it.
that's what I'm hoping for in the next one.
Yeah, so you are hoping for it. I don't know, man. How can you give this movie the time of day if this is what we could have gotten?
Because I wanted a live action Pokemon movie, and I wanted to see Pokemon interact with humans and just do cute shit on screen. I could have watched that for 5 hours with no plot. So I'm automatically satisfied, and now I'm hoping that the next one will be even better. Is that so hard to wrap your little Austrian corn pizza mind around?
Yeah, it is, man. It's basically like someone telling me, "Oh, I've been waiting for Batman v Superman all my life. I can't wait for this grand clash on
That
on the
movie is fucking Kino. What are you talking about?
And then the movie comes out and it's fucking shit.
No, it's
so
great.
Stupid.
Shut
and
up.
Then everyone's telling me, no. So you see the cultural relevance of this movie. It was so important. God, it had to happen. Now it's so good. It's here. They're gonna set up the Justice League. It's gonna be great.
You know, it's funny that you mentioned that as a comparison, because Batman v Superman to me is very similar to this movie, where the plot might be pretty fucking stupid. There might be a lot of stupid dialogue, dumb performances from some actors, but like visually the shit I'm seeing on screen, I fucking adored. So I think that's a very apt comparison, actually.
Man, I got one word for Batman v Superman. Fucking botched. It's so... It's such a knockoff. It's the worst.
Well, I don't know. We've been going on for an hour. I think before we review Batman v Superman, maybe we should say goodbye. You guys have anything you want to say?
Time.
E-Rich, I know you have so many things to plug these days. You want to plug your YouTube channel?
I'm gonna plug the same thing I've been plugging the entire episode. Is I just want to talk about Pokemon.
Well, you haven't recommended anything yet. You're gonna recommend the second Pokemon movie since we did the first and third.
I don't have anything Pokemon related to recommend really.
What about
oh my God.
What about that Pokemon hentai you sent me a few weeks ago?
I remember the first recommend the first Pichu Brothers short that was on front of one of those Pokemon movies.
No, I don't. The one with like Houndoom and shit, and like Pikachu has an adventure in the city. I hate that movie, man.
Oh, come on.
Like that one pisses me off because all the Pokemon are so mean to them, and it just it made me really upset.
All fucking mean streets, my man.
It's like that show Scrubs. I liked it for so long, and then I realized everybody is such a dickhead to JD, and it just like the show started making me sad because everybody's just so mean. I couldn't handle it anymore. It wasn't even funny anymore. It just made me fucking sad. Scrubs is the saddest shit I've ever seen. But JD deserves it. He doesn't even know his co-workers' names. He just gives them nicknames. And Carla pulling out a big old titty hair in front of the doctor. What's his name? I don't know. It's been a long time since I've seen that show.
Can I change my recommendation?
Mm-hmm.
I changed my recommendation to the YouTube video where they do the who's and he screams, "It's Pikachu!"
You cut out, so say it again.
Oh, it's the YouTube video where they're playing Who's That Pokemon, and he screams, "It's Pikachu!" when it's clearly not, and then he says, "God damn it!" when it's not.
It's a classic. That was a Vine before Vine even existed, I think.
Right.
Are you surprised there was no "Who's That Pokemon" joke in this movie?
Yeah, actually.
Yeah, that is like they could have had him behind like a screen, and people were like, "Who's that Pokemon?"
Yeah,
it could be a game show. It could be a game show in this fucking world.
Yeah, that would have been easy. It would have been easy to do like a Officer Jenny joke. Lots of easy fan service that I would have very happily gobbled down that they didn't do.
Right.
Oh well. I guess
those cummies ran over.
It's just too cool for school, all right?
And once E-Rich mentions cummies, I think we have to say goodbye. For Is It Kino, I have been Mumkey Jones.
I'm Florian. Check out my YouTube channel, Game Squid, on YouTube.
E-Rich.
And we'll see you next time with John Wick, Chapter 3, semicolon, dash, parabellum, ... ellipses, question mark, parentheses, 2019, parentheses. Is that the name of the film?
/ The Matrix.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
See you next time, folks.
Gun sounds.
Goodbye.